Hey guys, it's Steve. Welcome back to another Barbecue Bros video. So I've had a few viewer requests to do an indirect cook on the Weber Jumbo Joe. So the Weber Jumbo Joe is the little portable 18.5 inch charcoal kettle. I've done a couple videos on it if you've checked my channel out. And so this is going to be the first indirect cook that I'm doing on it. And what I'm doing is an Ancho-Cherry baby back rib recipe, and so we're gonna go ahead and get started, so let's check it out. Okay, so as you can see here, there are quite a few ingredients for this Ancho-Cherry barbecue sauce. Quickly walk you through the ingredients. This is 3/4 of a cup of ketchup, a 1/4 cup of water, 3/4 a cup of brown sugar, a pinch of ground cloves, a teaspoon of garlic cloves, which is really, a teaspoon of minced garlic, which is equal to 2 garlic cloves. This is 3 tablespoons of molasses, 1 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar, and then the two main ingredients that really make this sauce is we have 3/4 cup of tart cherries. So these are just the sun-made tart cherries. I picked these up in Publix. And then these are the ancho chili peppers. All an ancho chili is a dried poblano pepper. So they're really sweet. They're good for various different types of sauces. And all I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna cut the stem off and get all the seeds out of here, and then we'll get this on the stove. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get all of our ingredients dumped into our pot here. So the apple cider vinegar, the ketchup, molasses, garlic, cloves, brown sugar, water, then our tart cherries, and then let me show you what these peppers look like. So I basically just cut the end off of them, and there were a whole bunch of seeds inside, so I just dumped them out. So again, 2 dried poblanos, which are ancho chilies. So we're just going to throw that in there, and I'm going to put this on about a medium-high heat. And what we're going to do is just wait until this thickens up just a little bit and the ancho chilies and the cherry start to soften up a good bit, and then we're going to run this through a food processor. Okay, so we simmered our Ancho-Cherry sauce on about a medium-low with the lid covered for about 20 minutes, so it allowed the chilies and the cherries to soften up a bit. And what we need to do now is pour this mixture. You can use a food processor or a blender, but we need to pour it in here and blend up the chilies and the cherries, and then it's going to go back on the stove again. So here's our sauce. We're just going to pour this in here. Just like that. And so you can see the whole peppers and the cherries all in here. So we're just going to put the lid on, and I'm just going to pulse this a couple times. And then go ahead and turn this all the way on. And that'll do it right there. So about 30 seconds on that. Go ahead and take off the lid. And hopefully you can see that. It's nice and just completely pureed now. And I'm just going to put this back into our saucepan over here and throw it on the stove just for a few more minutes, just to let it thicken up a little bit more. Alright, so our Ancho-Cherry barbecue sauce is done. I threw it back on the stove for another 5 minutes or so, and you can just see this nice texture. And I just tried it out a couple minutes ago, and it just has an amazing flavor with the cherry and ancho chilies in there. And so what we're going to do now is just set this aside, and we're going to use this for a basting and finishing sauce on our ribs. Alright, so let me go ahead and show you how I've got the Jumbo Joe set up. So again, this is just came out in late last fall. This is the 2013 model Jumbo Joe. It's a 18.5 inch diameter portable charcoal kettle. So what I'm going to be doing today is I've had several, like I was mentioning before, several viewer requests to do an offset low and slow cook. So this is how I chose to go with the setup. There's other ways, but I think this will work out great. What I've done is I have the bottom vents are wide open, then I've got a couple fire bricks right in here that are basically going to be blocking the heat from my charcoal over to the water pan. You know, because I don't want if it was too close, the water would just boil off. There's not a whole lot of room in here, obviously, to fit a decent sized water pan, so I've got this smaller one. This is actually the one that comes with the Smokinator. So I've kind of banked the unlit charcoals around this one side. I've got a couple little chunks of some nice apple wood, and I'm just going to put 3 or 4 lit coals right here on this side, and those are going to slowly burn all the way down, get the smoke wood lit, provide some nice smoke flavor. And I may have to refill the water once during the cook, we'll have to see, but I think this is going to be a pretty good setup. So let me go ahead and get a couple lit coals in here. Alright, there's one, just like that. So that's literally all I'm going to do. I've got a total of 5 lit coals over here, and I'm going to go ahead and just, I've got the Cray Quart grate up here, so I'll throw those down and go ahead and get the lid shut. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my Barbecue Guru pit probe on here. Just, you know, these Jumbo Joes don't have a pit thermometer on them, so I'm going to use that to keep an eye on the temp. So we'll be back soon. Alright, our Jumbo Joe is up to 225. It's doing a really good job so far of maintaining a nice temp. All I'm going to do is coat this Cray Quart grill with a little olive oil. I do that before and after every cook. It's just a great way to maintain these cast iron grill grates. So that's all I'm going to do right there on that. And I've got an amazing looking rack of baby backs here. Woo! Look at those. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and get this lid shut, and I'm going to do kind of like a 3-1.5 method today. So 3 hours no foil, about 1 hour foil, and then half an hour back on for a little bit of finishing. So we'll get this lid on here and we'll be back soon. Alright guys, it's right at the 3 hour mark, so let's go ahead and take a look. Ooh, those look awesome. Super nice little crust forming on the outside. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is we're going to foil these with a few other ingredients. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so what we're going to do is just lay these down like this. And I'm going to take some of the here's our Ancho-Cherry sauce. I'm going to go ahead and just give these a nice base. This looks amazing. It's like this. I'm going to take some brown sugar and just sprinkle this all on top. Take some more of our rub. I didn't mention earlier, you guys know I'm a big Simply Marvelous fan. So since we're doing an Ancho-Cherry sauce, I'm using the Simply Marvelous cherry rub. So give that a nice little coat on top there. And all we're going to do is flip these over, because we're going to want to have these kind of braise and the foil meet side down. So we're going to just put a whole bunch of this Ancho-Cherry sauce on the back. Just like this. I'm going to use all this. Alright, get it on the edges. It's looking good. And grab some of our brown sugar. All over the top like that. A little bit more rub on the back. Lastly, I'm going to take some honey. This comes from a local honey farm. And I'm just going to put some honey all over it just like that. Alright. I know your mouths are watering right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull this over like this. Alright, and pull this up. And then I always do 2 layers. Get a nice solid seal like this. And then we're going to put these back up on the Jumbo Joe for about an hour, and we'll be back. Alright guys, it's been another 30 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and take a peek at these and see how nicely those ribs are looking now. They're starting to pull apart from the bone some. So what we're going to do is we're just going to flip this over just like this. Man, gosh, this looks so good. Hope you can see that good. And what I'm going to do now is just take some more of the Ancho-Cherry sauce. And the color of this sauce is just this gorgeous kind of like bright mahogany color. I'm just going to put a ton of it on here because I'm going to throw these back on for about another 20-30 minutes. Just like this. And that's perfect. And we're just going to take those and get those thrown back on the Jumbo Joe, and we'll pick back up in the kitchen when they're done. Alright, it has been another 30 minutes. And those are looking pretty much perfect. So the Ancho-Cherry sauce that I kind of finished them with has kind of caramelized up well, formed a nice little crust. You can see they're pulling off of the bone. So I'm going to go ahead and pull them off and rest for about 10-15 minutes, and we'll go ahead and slice them up and take a look in the kitchen. Alright guys, I've let these rest about 10 minutes. So what I like to do is I kind of flip these over. Just like that. So I can see the bones on the bottom. So let's just go ahead and cut a couple of these off. Alright, so let me go ahead and show you that right there. So we've got a nice little smoke ring on there. Super tender. Let me go ahead and try this out. Man, the meat's just, I barely bite into it, the meat just comes right off. Try another bite. That was 4 bites and most of that meat came off right there. Those are amazing. The Ancho-Cherry sauce just goes so well with these ribs. This is a phenomenal rib sauce, so definitely try this out. So I think that was a pretty successful cook. I had fun cooking it on the little Jumbo Joe, so if you guys have one, don't be afraid to cook indirect on it, and let me know what you think if you try this recipe out. So thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you again soon.